The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and move. Inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Now let's go.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield. Packer pressure, and down he goes. And Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, good agility by Cobb. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Bird. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. To throw, Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
I haven't met a defensive coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. ended up picking up 2.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's Gallman. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out.
That's fine. Yeah.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. Right now, they've got to find a way to get it.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead grows to 10-0. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Mayfield on play action. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. A big play that time for Cleveland. 46 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They pitch out to Howard. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now the Packers get set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 11.
319!
They start on the ground with Gallman. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Rodgers now on 1st down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. A second down throw for Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Mayfield dancing to his left. They find some open field here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Second down, Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The drive begins with a handoff to Gallman, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This is Gallman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even giving up a defensive touchdown.
Here's J.K. Scott now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And we put our attention now on the defense for the... And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And making the catch on the floater, that's Landry. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Going top shelf for Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, twisting away. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Larry Ogunjobi coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's what, right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Gallman will run it, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done, keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry, always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Bird. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He'll drop to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Gallman, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Like how they started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Back to throw here. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in the zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cobb. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
319! 319!
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Now, check. Patriot! Patriot! Over!
On first down, they run with Howard. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll set up a throw. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
He's going to get it running right. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll give it to Chubb, and he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond with what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
They'll run again here with Gallman, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And they drop it for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
To throw is Rodgers from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now the Browns coming out on the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 22. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now they try the right side here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The Browns on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end, Njoku. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. No. Check. Patriot.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short gain here down to the 22. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Gun. Watch it now, Barney.
Now a handoff looking right. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Browns on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they try the right side here, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
A big one coming now for the kicker, Zane Gonzalez. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And the kick by Gonzalez, he is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to throw. This is caught with a catch right side. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. And 26 seconds now as the spike comes in. Back to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. He's back to throw. It's his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.